last episode, we talked about our experiences with autism. Today, we'll be discussing our past and evolution / past mistakes that ended up with us being students at Hope Creek Academy.
I'm Gray. I'm 15 and I have Asperger's autism and ADHD. I enjoy gaming and being with my friends, and I also enjoy raising birds at home.
Hello, my name is John Doe, and in this episode we're going to explaining our past mistakes and how me and Jeff got here. So me first back in first grade when my parents thought I was better in a public school, but I swore too much. Bonus about me. I'm from New York, Manhattan. I love Fortnite, Five Nights at Freddy's Ultimate Custom Night, and Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I love action and action explosion violence stuff. Wait, I forgot Roblox, but besides that, also I'm a pretty nice guy.
Hi, my name is Jeff. I'm a middle schooler who attends Hope Creek Academy. I was born in Shanghai, China. I like sandbox-style games, specifically Terraria, and I like sci-fi and magic-themed books. I attended 5 schools before coming to Hope Creek. What highlights of your journey would you like to share? Well, I want to share my experiences with school. I find that only 2 of the schools I've been to have really clicked. The first one was the Expedition School. My first teacher there simply had an aura of comfort. The first 2 years there were great. The second 2 years weren't as great. In my last year there, I went to the Hill Center, and that clicked perfectly. All of the people there were of comfort, and it was a comfortable education.
Throughout your journey, how have you and your interests changed and evolved?
Well, I find that my interests are like a very important part of life. Not just my life, but everybody's interests are just a big part of their lives. And as you go along, your interests influence your personalities. Like, I used to be all interested in the things that, like, I think most kids are interested in when I was, like, younger. Like Thomas the Tank Engine and that sort of stuff. But nowadays, I'm more into video games like Terraria and Dungeon Defenders 2. And that, like, has an effect on my imagination. Like, I find that every single one of my interests winds up in my imagination. And I feel like everybody is this way. But I can't really know for sure because my mind is unique. Like, everybody's mind is unique. Everybody is different. And it's really important.
I agree, my interests do shape my personality, but I wouldn't say that. I actually think that our personalities shape our interests, and not our interests shape our personality. My interests have changed a lot, but they've kind of settled down because I've gotten older. As you're growing up, your interests change a lot as your brain is developing, but once it slows down a little bit, you actually are interested in, your interests kind of stay the same.
Yeah. Like, age kind of affects it, but kind of not. Like, I grew out of my, like, Thomas the Tank Engine sort of phase, like when I turned, like, 5, or maybe 6. And then, I, like, got into, Legos, like, very deeply, although I was already kind of into it. And it was just, like, Legos for, like, several years, until eventually I just started to get into Minecraft. And, that took hold of my life, and that took a bit of a while to shake off, till eventually my computer started to get a bit laggy and I couldn't play it as much. So then I got into Terraria, and I've been finding it very fun, and I was into it for a little, and then I'm back into it.
I think around end of middle school is when I became more confident about who I was as a person, and about what I like and don't like. And I think that happens with a lot of people too, because if you look back at things you do when you first start middle school around that age, you just kind of sit there and like, was I really that stupid?
Well, yeah, I asked that about like a lot of things in my past. I often asked like, why was I into that, or why did I do that thing? I regret it very deeply, or why on earth did I do that? That was the dumbest decision of my life.
Do you ever have moments where you're like, why did I stop doing that?
Not really.
Me neither. Like once you're like not into it, you're not into it, and you just like go off it until eventually you might get back into it.
Who has someone that has impacted you positively throughout your journey?
My dad. Because he tells me things like I told you earlier, spoiler alert, breaking fourth wall, sorry. He tells me to inhale for 10 seconds and exhale for 10 seconds, even though I usually just say 4 seconds, inhale, and 4 seconds, exhale.
The person who's impacted me most in my journey is my mom, because she knows me better than anybody else, and it's really been a benefit, because if she didn't, I probably would still be in public school and probably wouldn't be well educated.
In all honesty, I think I have to agree with Graham. Like, my mom was the person that realized that the school that I was going to wasn't really doing the trick. So she and I decided that I should be homeschooled until I found the right school for me. And then we did, which is this school.
When something happens that you don't expect, what do you do, or how do you react?
Before I came to expedition school, I used to just like curl up on the floor and then just like cry. And when I had a hard time at expedition school, which at first was rarely, but then it was like daily, I basically just like curled up on the floor, curled up under a table and silently cried. Only when I started going to therapy and taking something I call the serum did these shutdowns stop.
Well, when I went to my other school, besides Miss Jill's, because that's sort of a whole different story from my timeline, but let's just move that out of the way for a minute. I used to go to this school called Peace Montessori School. I think I've been there since the beginning of 2017, February 2017. That's when I had to leave the school, did a little homeschool for a little bit. Then I think I had like this summer vacation. And then in August, I went to this school called Miss Jill's for a few days, and then I went to this school. Even though it wasn't really problems, but the problem was in the last school / Peace Montessori. Things were sort of frustrating. It sounded like it was a really hard school, which it sort of was, but
what did you do when you got frustrated? Or how did you sort of try to help yourself stay calm when you frustrated?
You mean how I reacted?
Yeah, sort of.
When I got frustrated, I cussed a few times. Well, actually, the first time I didn't really cuss. I just talked about Minecraft. They don't really talk about like computer stuff there, which really sucks because I love playing video games. And how I reacted though, I cussed a lot. Well, not a lot, but then they just kicked me out. And then I went to homeschool. That was a really big fat rage. I used to think the multiplication was complicated, like algebra or negative numbers, but no. Now, since I'm in Hope Creek and I have more intelligence, I understand, but anyway. Then I went to Miss Jill's after my summer vacation, Then on the 28th, I was here.
I think it's important to learn from your mistakes because, well, I think I'm going to use an example from one of my video games. You see, the game is like hard, and you need to develop a sort of strategy. You keep trying the strategy until you conclude that it doesn't work, and then you keep trying strategies until eventually you find a strategy that works, and you keep using that strategy, and it like gets you through the game. That's kind of like why you need to learn from your mistakes.
I get what you're saying. I mean, what Jeff was trying to say was you can learn new strategies from your mistake. You're like a Binet. Like, I'm going to use another video game called Five Nights at Freddy's Ultimate Custom Night, which you develop a strategy to defeat, like, mostly all FNAF 6, some FNAF 2, and most of the FNAF 3, and some of the FNAF 4 characters. But, yeah, you have to, even though it's just a video game, you should apply strategies. It's sort of like applying strategies to calm down in life, because most people know this, though. But those of you who don't know, staying frustrated is bad for your health. And I'm serious, not being stupid, but it's bad for your health. So it's a lot of times you're calm. Right. Yeah, you'll be more successful, get more goals by being calm.
What would you want somebody to know about your journey?
Well, I think I would be proud of trying something repeatedly and getting back up again. I kept trying different school. It's like that thing I said about the strategies with the video games, where you keep trying strategies until you find one that works. It's kind of like that. You keep trying schools until you find one that just like fits, and then someday it might not fit, and then you find a school that does fit, and then it keeps fitting, and you stay there. I find that's very important, that you fall down but you get back up. That's my advice to you, whoever's listening to this.
I'm proud of being smart and sort of what Jeff said, but like you just follow your dreams or like try to find So like I'm seriously gonna make an example from one more video game because, well, in my opinion, you might know this, but anyway, in Zelda, if you lose all 3 hearts, you die. Sort of like Mario, but, well, it's if you have a power, or if you have a star, but anyway, in Zelda, if you go in freezing cold water and, like, there's this, the River of the Dead, which is a freezing cold river that can kill you anyway, even if you have, like, cold resistance, food, or anything, but you fall down when you try to pass the bridge. Even if you get all the power from the shrines, you may forget that use cryosis or something like that, but you fall down, then you learn from your mistake to not make it again. But mistakes help you. Also, when you fall down, like let's say if you just fall down, just get back up from that one really smaller than a breadcrumb mistake. Everyone, Ninja, Einstein. There's also many ways to make stress go away, and I'll be explaining about that right now. One of them, massages. Maybe you have back stress, and like, let's say if you have like this hard, let's say if you're a bankruptcy lawyer, like my father was, and you should get massages because they just release all the stress from your back, from your upper and lower back. Think about something else. Like, I just think about fruits and like this stick man. I think about something else. Like, imagine Vin Diesel eating oranges, bananas, apples, and most kinds of fruits. Except for grapes because I hate grapes. Not like actually like with aggression. It's just, it tastes a little weird. I really like orange, banana. I don't mind those. I don't mind. But anyway, those are 2 ways I like calm down.
So what I do, generally when I find something that is like stressing me out or is like really hard for me to do, I generally just go by, well, I'm not really sure what I do, but if it's something difficult, then I just go by the words of this meme where this guy's just like, just do it! And I just go ahead and do it, even if it's really stressful. Because sometimes doing it makes it a bit less stressful.
Thanks for listening to our story podcast. We'll see you next time.